least. I'm a bit more hopeful after yesterday than I was before yesterday.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. But like you said, with 5 games to go, it looks bleak, and we're relying on other teams to help us out. That's the reality. It's out of our hands right now. It's completely out of our hands with 5 games to go, and that's not a position that you want to be in. But look, let's stick to the game. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of relegation in a bit. But I think we gave them the platform as fans to do what they did yesterday, and I felt like definitely in the early stages of the game they were feeding off the energy that the fans were giving them. The atmosphere was incredible. Definitely the best atmosphere of the season, in my opinion. It was electric. Completely electric, from the concourses to in the ground to outside the ground, everything. Everyone was supporting the team. As soon as you heard as well the lineup, I was outside when the lineups came out, and everyone was like, wow, Bentancur's starting. Wow, Maddison's on the bench, this, that. You know, there was a proper buzz and a proper spring in people's step. And I was thinking, there's no chance Maddison's going to play. There is no chance at all. That choice to put Maddison on the bench was purely for vibes, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean, who knows?
I don't think he would have ever, even if we had that chance to take Javi off, I don't think he would have come on.
Maybe if we were losing with 5 minutes to go and we needed someone, maybe he would have turned to him. I think it was only going to be a last resort kind of thing. I don't think it was ever a plan to use him. But I think maybe if it was a case of we're losing by a goal or and we have a sub left and we're in a period of the game where we're penning Brighton in and we just need a little bit of sparkle, maybe we would have brought him on for 5 minutes and see if he could provide something, and maybe that could have given everyone a lift. So I think it was that kind of situation. I'd never really expected him to play any serious amount of time. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if Maddison himself expected it, because there was pictures of him going down the tunnel and not looking too happy. But I think it was a bit of a weird one because all subs were already used by that point. So I don't understand what he was going to be unhappy about. I don't think it was about him.
I think he's just unhappy with the situation that Spurs are in. You know, 2-1 up. Our best player, Javi Simmons, going down with an injury, potentially having to go down to 10 men. I think it was purely a team frustration thing of the situation that we're in.
It's weird to go down the tunnel. But anyway, look, it's not about Maddison. I think
he went down the tunnel for like a minute.
Maybe only on the cameras we saw him go down. But obviously, you being at the game,
he was there for the final whistle, and he was there for the last few minutes, definitely. And you know what I saw? I saw a James Maddison on the sidelines that was geeing up everyone, giving pep talks to everyone. He was like an assistant manager yesterday, James Maddison.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. And he was like up on his seat all the time. When Bentancur and Basuma went off, they looked like bloody managers on the sidelines as well, directing the play and everything. Like everyone seemed like they were well up for it yesterday.
Together.
Yeah, everyone was togetherness. Yeah, 100%.
Which is really great. That was what we need at this point. In terms of the lineup, going back to what you were saying, it's interesting. Before the game, I was thinking about it, and obviously Basuma Bentancur, first of all, that's the first time we've seen that pivot this whole season, isn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't seen that because Basuma was out for the first 6 months of the season, and then as soon as he came back, Bentancur's been out for the last 3 months. And when you think about it as well, in our run to the Europa League,
yeah, they were the best ones. Yeah,
they were our double pivot, weren't they? So that is we haven't seen it since that run. And so in theory, is it our best combo potentially right now?
I think so.
Probably gives us the best balance of a bit of on the ball ability and a bit of know-how, a bit of experience, and a bit of kind of stability in terms of anchoring the shielding the defence. Probably gives us the most coverage as well. Maybe say Paulinho if you add him in, but in terms of the balance of on the ball and off the ball, it is probably our best combo, and it's just a combo we haven't seen all season.
Yeah. It's funny with Basuma because I'm seeing like a lot of people saying what a good game he had, and I think he gave a good effort for the team. You know, Adrian asked me before the game, as we were getting to our seats, all right, come on, what minute is Basuma getting booked then? And I told him 35 minutes, bang, 33 minutes he was booked. But I felt like in that period in the first half when we were under pressure, 10, 15 minutes, you know, Brighton were really putting it on us. We were penned back a little bit. I thought Basuma was letting us down on occasions, just losing the ball in terrible situations. There was this one passage of play where he lost the ball twice on the edge of our area, and it's just like, come on, you got to have a bit more about you. But look, there was good and bad from Basuma yesterday, and I thought for the first like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, he was really good. But then from then on, I thought it was pretty much a downward trajectory until he got taken off.
Yeah, he got taken off pretty early, didn't he?
Yeah. He should have got, in my opinion, he should have got taken off at half time. I was calling for it. I felt like he was struggling in the last 10 minutes of the first half. He had that booking as well. He was going in for a few challenges where, you know, a few seconds later it could have been another booking. So I would have taken him off at half-time anyway.
I think, fair enough. I didn't think he was warranted to be taken off half-time, but I think second, I think definitely he was waning as the game went on. I didn't think he had a particularly amazing game, but I thought he had a decent game overall. I agree, there was that passage of play. Definitely when we were under the cosh, Brighton were on top of us, popping it around, and he wasn't making quick enough decisions, and he got caught a couple of times. But I think by and large he was okay. But I think rightfully, when we were making those subs, he was the one taken off. We needed a bit more energy. But also quite telling the fact that Bentancur obviously got taken off on 66, I think it was, and we all knew he was never going to play 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's quite telling that he took Basuma off before him, knowing that he was going to have to take Bentancur off.
Yeah.
So that shows that he felt like he needed to take Basuma off at that point. So fair enough, and I think it was the right decision. But I do want to persist with Bentancur Basuma. I do want to persist with it because I do think it's our best pivot, and I think we looked so much better with both of them shielding. And I think it helped Xavi. I think it helped Connor as well on the pitch, and I definitely think that helped our defence in general. So it was really good to see that pivot. I think the main thing it did at points anyway was just stop Brighton playing through the centre, stop their football. But you know what? Once they got into that rhythm, I felt like when we had all our energy, especially for the first half an hour, like we were really pressing really well, and Brighton was struggling to deal with our press. But as soon as we dropped off a bit, as soon as our energy started to wane a bit, I felt Brighton were then popping it around, and it wasn't a surprise to me when they scored. Like, in fact, when we scored, it was probably in one of Brighton's best passages. It was a weird one.
They had that thing with Van der Ven, it hit the post and it rolled, and we went up the other end and scored pretty much.
Exactly. Like, as much as I thought we started really well for the first half an hour, but we didn't really create too many clear openings. I think we had a few shots, but nothing really too dangerous. But I think what we did do was we had a bit of control of the game. We were pressing them well. We were making sure Brighton weren't playing through us too much. But then as soon as that energy dropped off, I thought Brighton, you know what, that Van Hecker, I thought some of his passes are absolutely brilliant. He was passing through the lines is phenomenal. Pascal Gross was dictating things late in that game. He obviously set up the chance for what you talked about, the post, and obviously set up the goal as well. Those two moments as well, all the time in the world to shape up and cross the ball, so frustrating. But anyway, my point being is, once the energy wasn't at 100, you saw Brighton assert themselves on the game. But I thought, by and large, we dealt with it okay. And then we obviously got the goal, which again came from our pressing. Good pressing moment. And you got to say, a brilliant piece of play from Xavi, wasn't it?
It was unbelievable, that little dink into Pedro Porro, and great for Pedro Porro as well to put himself in that. By the way, why is even Pedro Porro there at that moment in time? I'm like, fine, yeah, go for it. But obviously it gets us our first goal, and I thought it was real bravery from Pedro Porro to be where he is at that moment and to get ahead of Brugge and just dink it over him. So I think it was a really nice goal all round, to be honest.
Well, that's it. When you got to play a manager like De Zerbi, he's going to encourage that at times to be brave and get, and obviously when it goes wrong, the risk is you get caught out. When it goes right, you have a moment like yesterday where we get the goal and it's right on his head, isn't it? It's such a perfect ball from Xavi. An inch to the left or an inch to the right, it's getting cleared by the defender or it's getting cleared by the keeper. So it had to be inch perfect right on his head. And it's a brilliant cross. And obviously, Porro just had to get in there ahead of Verbruggen, but it's absolutely fantastic. And that was a real moment of quality. The thing is, before that, Xavi was being quite frustrating, I felt. He was kind of misplacing passes. I think the main thing was he was miscontrolling the ball a lot, and that was frustrating. But I think also they kept fouling him every time he got the ball. He just kept getting fouled.
He kept getting fouled, but a lot of the time it wasn't being given. And I was like saying, how many fouls were against him yesterday that were not given? I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, that was also really
Seriously,
frustrating.
it was so frustrating. It was like consistent. Throughout the first half, he was getting hacked down. And I think twice, I don't know what happened. Maybe you can shed a bit more light on it if you remember what happened. But there was twice during the game where he had the ball and then the foul was given against him.
I remember once there was a doggy. I don't remember Xavi. I remember once it happened against a doggy where we were going to be in on goal. We had the ball and he gave a foul against a doggy because his arm hit, I think it was Ayari in the face. But
it wasn't that moment. I remember that moment as well, but it wasn't that moment. There were a couple of moments with Xavi in there where, he had the ball. and suddenly the foul was just given against him. But anyway, it was just very frustrating. But the thing is with Javi, at least he's always showing for the ball. At least he's always trying to do something. You know, he's got that X factor. How many times have we sat here and saying, Javi has got to play. Javi has got to play. The last 2 times he started, Atletico Madrid in the second leg, and today, and yesterday.
That's mad, yes.
You know? 2 goals against Atletico Madrid, obviously one from the penalty spot, and then the assist and the goal yesterday. But how long we've been waiting for that moment for Javi Simons as well? I know it doesn't end up in 3 points, but at that moment, it's a massive moment, right? We've been waiting for it all season. He's been waiting for it all season because we know he can produce those moments of magic.
Yeah, and you know what? People get frustrated, and you know, understandably, when he misplaces a pass or when he miscontrols a ball. And I think a lot of the time it's in very obvious and very bad situations. So I think it sticks out in the mind when it's a really poor first touch and he overruns the ball, because he does do it quite a lot. But you know what? The guy has magic in his boots and he tries things. And if he's the kind of player, I think he's at the stage of his career. He's very young, and I think a lot of, obviously, you want players in that position. You want them to be perfect. You want them to be very efficient. You want them to be getting the ball 10 times, and keeping the ball 10 times, and maybe creating something, 8 times out of 10. Maybe down the line he'll become that player. Right now, it's kind of like he gets the ball 10 times, he'll give it away 5 times. Maybe he'll create something 3 times. That's the kind of player he's on. But you know what? That's better than anything else we have right now. And we need someone who was just going to try things, who's going to risk losing the ball, he's going to risk taking someone on in the final third, he's going to risk taking that shot, because if you keep giving him the ball, I think he's shown that it will come off for him. And I think you've seen it in the stats. He's created way more chances than anyone else for Spurs this season. I think he's the only one. I think they showed a stat on screen in 2026. If you look at games where you've created 3 or more chances, he has 4. And the next nearest person only has 1 for Tottenham. So he's clearly the only one capable of creating multiple chances in a game as well. So I know it's frustrating when he loses the ball, and he needs to get better at that. But at the end of the day, we have to have him on the pitch, because without him, we don't create anything, and we've got no quality in that final third. And he does need to improve, and he's not the perfect player right now, but for what we need, he has to be on the pitch.
But this is the nature of creative players. This is the nature of these kind of players. They lose the ball a lot because they're always trying things. Look at Bruno Fernandes. He also loses the ball a lot because he's consistently trying to hurt teams, and he's just consistently trying to pass the ball in dangerous situations. So that's just the nature of players like that.
No, I agree, but I think Xavi's probably even more wasteful than Bruno at the moment. But
that's Bruno's a lot. I mean, Xavi has a lot of, Bruno's got a lot of years on Xavi.
That's my point. Yeah, he's young, so he is frustrating at points, but he has quality. Who else could do what he did yesterday in our team? No one. Absolutely no one. Not even, I would say, not even like Kudus. No one in our squad, apart from maybe Maddison, probably only Maddison is capable of what we saw from Xavi yesterday in those moments.
That was a pure Sonny moment yesterday.
It was brilliant.
We see Sonny do that time and time again in his prime. And this is what we thought Xavi could bring this team, and we haven't seen it for one reason or another for a lot of times this season, whether it be position on the pitch or not getting players, whatever. There's been so many different situations or different reasons why we haven't seen that with Xavi. But yesterday he produced it, and yesterday he proved again, like he has done a few times this season, he should be starting pretty much a first name on the team sheet.
Yesterday was also a lot of the case of what could have been, isn't it? Because we get the goal, and then we had that chance straight away, didn't we? Which was Xavi, unfortunately. Brilliant play from Solanke, gets it to Xavi. He does a brilliant turn. You think, okay, bam, just bury it. Or even Moani's completely free there. You can just lay it off for a tap-in. He goes to this little cute finish, and I understand he's playing on instinct, and if it works, it's brilliant. But I just felt like he was being too cute in that moment. He could have just levered it, put a bit of power in it, or been a bit smarter.
It's bloody close, though.
But look, he hit the post, and obviously Moani, I felt Moani was on his heels. He didn't anticipate the ball coming back off it. I think if he anticipates that, it's an easy tap in, and obviously Porro.
I thought Porro was going to bury it as well.
He should have buried that as well. But that moment was so crucial. I think if we get that second goal, I think we go in at half-time 2-0 instead of 1-1. And I think all of a sudden it's a very different complexion. We then, that doesn't go our way, so frustrating, and then all of a sudden they score an absolute worldie, and it's 1-1. So frustrating, and it's just like, it's just one of those moments. I think everyone was sitting there looking at that moment and thinking, are we going to live to regret that? And I think even though we did retake the lead later on, I felt like that was a crucial moment in the game. If we take a 2-goal lead, I think that's a big moment in the game.
Yeah, 100%. You know, at the time, when I saw the replay on the screen, it didn't show Solanke playing the ball to itself. It just showed Solanke receiving the ball in an offside position. So I was, in a weird way, I was thinking to myself, oh, we got away with one because it's a corner, and if it would have gone in, it would have been flagged offside. But obviously I saw afterwards, after you told me that, you know, it wouldn't have been offside. So very frustrating. But yeah, look, if we bury that, I think we go win that game quite comfortably. I really do. We had momentum on our side. We would have been 2-0 up. I don't think we bottle it in the manner that we did. I really don't.
And of course, an absolute worldie as well from what a goal that was from Matoma.
That finish, like it was like a side foot finish, volley.
The angle, the how he got it top bit. Have you ever seen? When was the last time we saw a volley like that?
I don't remember one.
And
that's the quality that Matoma has.
I understand, like, he was free at the back post, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't be scoring that. Like, it's just an outrageous finish. And it's so frustrating right on the stroke of half-time. Again, it definitely is emblematic of the mentality of the team, you have to say, because we did it twice in that game, conceded right before the whistle, which is so frustrating. But you got to say as well, it's just a great finish. I know it's a great ball from Gross. I think the biggest error in that whole move was, if you watch Pascal Gross, he has got so much time and space to cross that ball. No one's getting close to him. You can't give someone like Pascal Gross's quality that kind of time and space. You just can't, because he's going to punish you. And I think in that game, or in that first half already, I think he set up a chance for Welbeck. He set up a chance where the header hit the post, which we spoke about. He actually, literally a second before that, he actually had a really good ball in, which was headed out by Danso, and then he got the ball back from that resulting clearance. So he'd already shown what he can do with those crosses. And so to allow him the time and space to cross that ball in for the fourth time in that game was very frustrating, and we ended up getting punished for it.
Yeah. It was a game of like very few chances, particularly in that first half, until it like kind of burst into life, and there's like kind of like 10 minutes. I was thinking, you know, Spurs are holding, because you got to remember, like, as much as we're gutted, this could be our hardest game on paper in terms of form for the rest of the season. We were talking about the best form team in the league coming to Tottenham, where we haven't won in 2026. Nobody was predicting a Spurs win.
And you know what?
Me.
And you know what as well? You have to say, like, I don't think it was a case of, you know, sometimes you play a team and they're just off the pace, and you know, you could say, oh, they were off there. I actually thought Brighton played quite well for points in this game. Like, I don't think it was a case of them just not turning up. I just think we were like pressing them into oblivion, making it really difficult. But when they were on their game, when they had their passing game going, we couldn't live with it.
No, we couldn't.
We couldn't live with it.
But it wasn't that often in the game when they were in that mode.
I would say last 15 of the first half.
Yeah.
And then I would say probably first 15, 20 minutes of the second half, and also probably the last like 10 minutes.
But what I want to say, in those situations as well, I thought the defence really stood up strong. I thought Mickey van de Ven and Kevin Danso were both having stunning games. I thought Destiny Udogie probably has best game since he'd come back, or, you know, best game potentially even this season. Pedro Porro was proper fighting, wasn't he? Not to say, you know, they didn't do anything wrong, but I think particularly Danso and van de Ven, the important clearances and challenges and blocks that we're making in the box, I thought, you know, you could just see. And by the way, I said to Adrian before the game, and I was watching them kind of doing the huddle and stuff, I said to him, there's something different about Van de Ven in this warm-up. I actually noticed something about, you know, he had the captain's armband on, by the way, which we didn't mention. He had this kind of look of fire in his eyes, and look of fire as he was trying to G up the players and everything. And there was definitely something different about Mickey van de Ven yesterday, and he played like it as well, because it was his best performance in a long time, Mickey van de Ven. So I've got to give Mickey some props yesterday. But it does leave me a bit frustrated. It's just like, you've been playing like with this passion and this energy and this fight, and it's just like we've been creeping into relegation for the last few months. Like, where has this been? Where has this been? Like, why can't you fight for the badge like this bloody every game? Why has it taken for us to go into the relegation zone like this, for us to produce not even the performance but that fight? Why has it come to it like this?
That's a potentially £250 million question, isn't it? That's how much it could cost us if we go down. It's hard to say. Is it a case of motivation? Is it a case of confidence? it's hard to say exactly why, but 100% that question needs to be asked, because there have been points where we've been in positions like the Palace game and he's let us down really badly, and other situations where he's just been completely off the pace. I agree, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant yesterday. And he was nearly back to his best.
You know what was so good with Mickey? The way he used the ball yesterday. Because so often he doesn't use the ball well enough. There was a couple of times, in the air, he got beaten a few times yesterday, Mickey. But I felt when he was on the ball, driving into space, using the right passing lanes, picking the right option.
Yeah.
He was so much better in that aspect yesterday.
I agree. I actually felt Danso was struggling with that. I felt when it came to passing. I think Van de Ven was doing a much better. Maybe he's taking more responsibility because he knows we don't have Romero now to play those passes, and we need one of our centre backs.
Even if that's the case, like that pisses me off.
What?
That he's taking more responsibility now. Yes, he should take more responsibility now, but he should be taking responsibility regardless. He's the vice captain of the team. And we know the quality that he has. So to take it upon yourself now in when we're in the relegation zone, fine, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I commend him for his performance yesterday. But it just leaves me a bit pissed off when seeing what I've seen with Mickey Van de Ven for the last couple of months.
Yeah, fair enough. Just a quick one as well, just going back to that first half. We should have had a penalty, by the way.
What, a doggy, yeah?
We should have had a penalty.
I was so sure.
That was a penalty.
It was down the other end of the pitch for me, so I didn't see it properly. But I was sure it was a penalty.
It was a carbon copy of what Basuma got booked for.
Yeah.
A little clip from behind. I think it was an absolute carbon copy. And then the referee gives Basuma a bookie, and there's no penalty.
I said to Aid when that happened, if that happens anywhere outside the box, it's a foul.
Easy.
So why is it not a foul in the box?
I thought it was a blatant penalty. I thought it was a definite penalty.
So why is VAR not taking that back and looking at it?
Don't know. I thought they should have. I think he clearly trips him up, and I think they got away with him massively. He even falls on top of him at the end. Like, I think it's crazy they didn't give a penalty for that. And obviously we end up taking the lead anyway, but that really annoyed me.
But it's these little decisions that go against you, or big decisions that go against you, that really have an impact. And I thought this game, our luck was changing a little bit, because in the first 10, 15 minutes, we were getting a lot of fouls. And I was saying, like, in that Sunderland game, we weren't going to get half of those fouls we weren't getting. So I thought our luck was changing a bit in that aspect. And then the whole thing with Javi started to happen. I
thought our luck was in when that Van de Ven thing happened. He hit it against his own post, and it hit himself and rolled across the line and didn't go. And I was like, God, is this going to be our day?
I know.
That doesn't happen to us. Which is a brilliant piece of defending, by the way, from Van de Ven, because Welbeck's about to tap it in. So got a bit of luck, but it was the only thing he could do. Absolutely fantastic.
But look, we go in at 1-1.
Yeah.
They go off to an applause at half-time because of the fight they showed. And, on another day, all season, if you concede a last-minute goal, equaliser, however well you played, it's just like, same old story with Tottenham. But, the fans noticed the hard work and the penalty potentially, and we should have been leading at half-time, go off to an applause. And the sentiment for me and a lot of fans at half-time was like, fuck it, we go again. We can win this game. Like, we're Brighton, best form in the league, but we're actually showing something today. There's something that we haven't shown in so long. And, I felt Brighton probably came out the best of the two after half-time. They were having a lot of possession. They were popping it around a little bit. There was not much in it for Tottenham. But we were hanging in there, and we were showing still good traits, fighting for the badge. And then it felt like out of nowhere, this goal that we scored.
Well, I felt that, in that second half, I think it was all Brighton pretty much, but they didn't really create. I think the best chance they actually had was Porro plays his back pass after it looks like they were going to get in, and Kinski realises last minute he can't pick it up, and that nearly cost us. I think apart from that, they had some very nice, pretty football, but I think we were keeping them at arm's length. I think Danso gave a couple of fouls away on the edge of the area. I actually thought he was struggling at times, Danso, to be honest. I thought he was really good at some of the stuff he's good at, which is getting his head on crosses and stuff and getting blocks. But I actually felt when he was being taken on the ground, and when someone was like, when someone had him shaped up, he was actually struggling a bit, and you saw it in a moment where he got booked. Like, he couldn't keep up with Tommy. He had to just block him. He had to foul him at that point. Anyway, But we were keeping them at arm's length. I felt we weren't really allowing too many opportunities. I don't remember too many saves Kinski had to make like in that period.
No, not many.
And then we made these subs. We brought Tell on, we brought Gray on, and I think it really changed actually once we brought Paulinho on. All of a sudden, they injected a bit of energy into the team, and he had what's it called. All of a sudden, we started getting on the ball a bit, and we had that little brilliant move, didn't we? Where I think Paulinho plays it to Gallagher, a little flick into Xavi, and I thought he was just going to roll it across the face of goal first time. He cuts back, probably shouldn't have done that because it just gives the defender a bit of time to get into position. His shot was blocked. It fell false to Paulinho, edge of the area. He has a strike and deflects very nearly wrong foot Verbruggen, and that gets it gets blocked. And all of a sudden there was a bit of energy, and it was all like, okay, Tottenham are back in this game now. Then we bring on Bergvall, and immediately that injection of energy, and immediately within a second, he catches Van Hecker off guard. I think Van Hecker is not expecting to have time on the ball like he's had for most of the game. Bergvall wasn't offering that to him. Brilliant tackle, gets it into Xavi, and then it was a bit of a bolt from the blue, wasn't it? But what a strike. What a strike that was.
Right from the Sonny zone, man. That is the X factor that you have with Xavi Simons, and it's just been ridiculous while we haven't been playing him. You know, we've said it in this stream already, but that's the reality. It's just like, again, it just leaves me so frustrated. Like, why have we not been playing Xavi? Just why have we not been playing him? The last two starts, 2 goals against Atletico and a goal and assist yesterday. It's just ridiculous.
And I think, and then obviously it cued wild scenes, jumping in the crowd, shirt off. Some people have said, was it too much? Well, you know, should we have been calmer in that situation? But you know what? At the end of the day, we've had such little positivity, and we needed something special. And I understand. We did look. If we're being honest, the team reacted like we just scored a last-minute winner, and that was it. Like it was going to be the end of the game, and it probably was a tiny bit over the top. But in the situation we're in, like it felt significant, didn't it? It felt like a massive moment in the game. Like it could have been the goal that got us out of the relegation zone.
Why? Because Brighton, as much as they were playing well, they weren't creating much. So we thought more of again for the next 15 minutes, and we've won this game.
And obviously, Xavi got booked, but it was a brilliant celebration, and the scenes were unbelievable. We could see it on screen.
But it's just like, how many times the players take off their shirts and we don't go and win the game?
Honestly,
it's just like, can we have a rule now at Tottenham where players, when they celebrate, they cannot take off their shirts? Like seriously, Richarlison has been burnt time and time again. Now Xavi, and it's just like, we need to stop. Look, jump into the crowd, go mental, do whatever you want, but just don't take off your shirt. You know what I mean? It's just like every time.
I think what really cost us, because obviously we get the goal, brilliant, and I think everyone at that point was like, okay, we hold this now. I think that was kind of probably the mentality at that point. I don't think it was about killing the game off, going for a third or anything, as much as that had been great. I think it was all about just, you make sure we don't concede at this point. But I think what really did cost us was Xavi going down, because we pretty much played those last 10, 15 minutes with 10 men. That was the truth. You could see he was really struggling.
Yeah.
Every time he got the ball, he was giving it away. He couldn't keep it. He wasn't really helping the team as much as he could off the ball as well, leaving pretty much Brighton having another free man for most of that time. And you know what? The pressure was building. When they scored, it wasn't a massive surprise, to be honest, because as much as it was gut-wrenching and heartbreaking, like they had that chance just before, didn't they, where Kadioglu hits the side netting. That could have been a goal, and they were putting us under serious pressure for those last 10 minutes. And I think if we were able to take Xavi off and just get another player in there to help out, I reckon we see out that game.
You know, I've seen a lot of people, and someone next to me was saying this as well with the game yesterday, being like, it's really bad management from Roberto De Zerbi to use all 5 subs before the 70th minute mark or 75th minute mark, wherever it was. And I'm thinking, and I was there thinking, like, I thought the subs were spot on from Roberto De Zerbi yesterday. I thought every player made an impact that came on. Every player that came off, I think, had to come off at that point as well. Udogie, when he came off for Jed Spence, I thought Udogie was really flagging in the last 20 minutes or half an hour, and he had to come off. I thought when Bergvall came on, he made an instant impact. Bentancur obviously had to come off. Bissouma had to come off, in my opinion, at that point as well. And there was one more sub in there as well. Who was the other sub?
It was Spence.
No, I said that. Spence.
Bergvall, but Paulinho for Bentancur. So maybe you said
Moani.
Oh,
And
Moani.
Moani had to come off because he was crap. So what change could Roberto De Zerbi left? Because I thought all those players had to come off.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the subs. Obviously, you could definitely say, I think most of the time, managers do leave one sub in case of injuries late in the game. So that it's for that reason, isn't it? Just in case you get something late in the game, because you never know who's not going to finish. But I didn't have any problem with the subs. I think the problem was, I think Bentancur was definitely pre-planned. You saw a doggy had his thigh strapped with ice, so let's hope he's okay. Clearly, he was struggling late in the game, so he had to be taken off. So I think those were pre-planned. Maybe the Basuma one, he was expecting him to play longer, and he felt like he had to take him off, which was a shame. Obviously, Tell from Moani had to happen because he was playing awful. And then who did Bergvall come on for? Bergvall came on for Gallagher. So maybe it was that one totally necessary, but then again, Bergvall got the assist straight away.
That's what I'm saying.
So can't really complain about that either.
I don't think you can knock any of the changes.
Yeah.
I don't. So I think it's, obviously if Javi doesn't get injured, no one's mentioning it.
Yeah.
But Javi did get injured, so it's a talking point. But I don't really have a problem with it. It's just unlucky what happened at that moment in time.
But it did cost us.
It did cost us.
Because I think if Javi, Javi doesn't have cramp at that point, I really do think we see out the game.
But the only one that you can talk about is Bergvall for Connor, right? And if Bergvall doesn't come on, maybe we don't even score that goal.
Yep.
So it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. And if Bergvall doesn't come on, maybe we lose the game in the last 10 minutes instead of draw.
Yeah. So can't really. What could you say? I didn't really have any complaints about De Zerbi. I actually think he managed the game overall pretty well. I think the subs were at the right time. I think the way he had us playing was really good. Obviously, we didn't talk about it, but right at the end of the goal that we conceded, Danso, man.
What is he doing? What is he doing? I've spent all week talking up Kevin Danso. All week. Not as much as Brian. but
Captain Danso.
But look, all week I've been talking that Kevin Danso up, and that at the end is just, oh, man.
And De Zerbi mentioned it as well. He
Yeah,
said,
I heard what De Zerbi
the moment
said.
we had the ball, that can't happen. Like, we have the ball.
You just get rid, man. You're in the stoppage time. You're in the 5th minute of stoppage time. You just boot the ball anywhere you can. Anywhere you can. It's ridiculous. What Kevin Danso did yesterday.
Yeah. But also, I have to say, as much as Danso rightly get blamed for it, I mean, the defending from the team for the goal, there's a snapshot of when we concede. Like, he's so free, Rutter. Like, there's a few players free as well. Like, we're just all over the place. I think it's a consequence of us losing the ball in a bad area, and they hit us very quickly, and we have one less player pretty much defending, which really costs us. But, there's players who are out of shot who are just not defending for the team at that moment. And in that moment, everyone needs to be digging in, and it just felt like there were too many free players for Brighton at that point. And look, it is another great finish from Rutter, but so frustrating, frustrating.
It is, but you could see, like, as soon as Javi went down injured, the whole team were panicking. The whole team were panicking.
Sure.
And you could see
they're
that clearly.
panicking so much. They all the players were like doing this to the subs bench. You're not even remembering we've made 5 subs, and I think that's how much they were panicking.
Yeah,
because they thought we have to get him off, and they couldn't even remember. So they're panicking so much.
There's a comment here that says, Ben, maybe De Zerbi tells the defenders not to ever boot it. I mean, yeah, that might be the case, but you're 5 minutes into stoppage time, 2-1 up. I promise you De Zerbi will not have a problem with Danso booting the ball in that situation.
That point, no.
Like, fine, if it's like the 50th minute, yeah, but not in the 95th minute, man.
No chance. And also, we were definitely Kinski was given a lot of license to play the ball long.
Kinski was fantastic yesterday. He really was. From his crosses, I thought he was so strong. He didn't have to make too many good saves during the game, but there was one moment where he had to rush off his line and come out of goal and be that kind of sweeper keeper for us as well. I thought everything he did fantastic, really well.
And there was another moment, there was a corner which it was going to go right on Van Hecker's head, and I was watching, I thought, oh God, he's about to score here, and Kinski just gets a little touch to it and gets it away. I thought it was a brilliant piece of goalkeeping, and I thought he was really brave, especially given the fact that he hit injured his head last week really badly, and clearly he's still got a thing there. I think he did. I think he was really brave. In
I
a
feel
lot
like
of
he's
occasions.
so much more confident from corners than Vicario is, man, already. And I feel like he brings a bit of calmness to that back line as well. He's so calm when he's on the ball. I'm really enjoying Kinski these last 2 games. I really am. And a massive, massive big up to him to respond to taking off for Atletico 15 minutes.
There was, I don't know if you probably didn't get it from being in the crowd, but Vicario did a Ramsdale moment when Kinski did like some good action, and you had Vicario on the bench like that, clapping like that.
At this point, I don't even want to see Vicario back in the team. I think he probably will come back in the team.
I don't mind. Well, De Zerbi says he's going to be back in training Monday, Tuesday. So I wonder if for that game, is he going to go with Kinski, who's playing well, or with Vicario straight back in after his hernia?
Can we talk about Conor Gallagher? Because we've given him so much shit. So much shit. That was his best performance in the Spurs shirt, in my opinion. I thought what we saw from Conor Gallagher yesterday is what we expected to see when he brought in, that all-action, combative, so aggressive, winning the ball back, winning his duels, standing up for the team. I thought he was so good and made such an impact for us yesterday.
Yeah. I think more off the ball than on the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
I think on the ball there was a couple of really frustrating moments, which could have led to more. But off the ball, he just ran himself into the ground, didn't he? Absolutely phenomenal.
2 out of 3 aerial duels won, 5 out of 6 ground duels won, and 3 out of 3 dribbles successful as well.
Yeah, his dribbling was not bad, but I thought his passing, again, whatever, we've said about Gallagher, but obviously I thought his pressing, which is one of the main reasons I thought we got him, was because of how much he was a bit of a pit bull, and we just haven't seen it as much, and I thought his pressing was brilliant.
When he went off to a standing ovation from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that tells you a lot, because everyone's been groaning every time he's in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So you got to give him credit for the performance he had. Like him and Bentancur, I thought made a real difference in that midfield yesterday, particularly Bentancur, just that calmness, that composure, the aggressive nature as well. I thought Bentancur was fantastic. Conor Gallagher was fantastic. And they're just giving us fundamentals that we just haven't had in this team for so long. I think it's more on how starving we've been as opposed to actually how good they actually were yesterday, in my opinion. But they were pretty good.
Yeah. I think, again, I think there's so much, obviously, room to improve, but I think it was more definitely off the ball. Our pressing and energy was what
we just haven't seen it.
I think that is where we were good yesterday, and I think once that energy started to wane on both halves, we started to struggle a bit. I think obviously De Zerbi's known for his incredible on the ball ability in terms of how he coaches teams, and I think once the game calmed down, that's where Brighton were good. Brighton were the ones better on the ball than we were, but we were probably better off the ball than they were. And I thought, by and large, it was a really good tactical battle, and I thought we gave as good as we got and probably deserved. I think at the end of the day, we created the better chances and probably deserved.
We deserved it.
We deserved it. But we didn't get it, and the defensive mishaps and right at the end cost us, and that was really, really frustrating. But if we can play like that and add a few more elements to our possession-based game, which I think needs still a lot of work, I think maybe we can get some wins. And I think the main thing is that energy, pressing teams, force them into mistakes, making them rush. I think Brighton did struggle against that at times. I think also Brighton showed their quality as well.
They did, and we know that because they're a very good side, and they've proved they're a very good side by being in the conversation for European football right now when they were looking like they could be dragged into the relegation battle. They're a very good side. They're in very good form, and I think it's a big credit to De Zerbi and a great credit to Spurs to be in the game and actually match them up yesterday. And De Zerbi did something yesterday that Frank, definitely in the latter stages, and Tudor just couldn't do, and get the team working hard. So I think De Zerbi's already starting to rub off on these players. Yeah,
exactly. And it was the first time. When was the last time we were actually winning it in the second half of a game? Was it literally the last game we won?
Yeah, Crystal Palace.
Actually, Sunderland we were winning till late on, weren't we? Sunderland at home.
Oh, we conceded it.
Robbie scored it late. That's probably the last time we were actually winning a game until late. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And getting closer and closer. I think De Zerbi's getting into his team, isn't he? He's getting into these players.
Yeah, but I just pray it's not a little too late, because, like I said, look, let's talk about relegation, because we're 1 point behind West Ham. They've got a game in hand. They've got to go Selhurst Park tomorrow.
Watching right now.
Nottingham Forest are playing right now, 15 minutes into the game, 0-0. We're relying on other teams. So if West Ham go and win Monday night, then it looks very bleak. 4 games to go, 4 points with 5 games to go. That
looks insurmountable at this point, yeah.
It does look insurmountable, but you look at West Ham's fixtures, you look at Nottingham Forest fixtures, they're not easy. So I don't think either of them are going to have a lot of wins from now until the end of the season. So I still think if we get 2 wins and a couple of draws, I think we'll beat it. Maybe just. I think it'll be fine, like literally on goal difference or something like that. So I think 3 wins, I think guarantees it, in my opinion.
I think the reason why yesterday felt so brutal was because it really felt like for most of that game it was going to be a turning point, and this was going to be the game that sparked life into our
Still
survival.
can be, though.
No, obviously it still can be, but the fact that we didn't get the win and we got the heartbreak, I think the big worry is the psychological damage that's going to do to the team, having been so close to a win and have it snatched away from you right at the death. Like, I think De Zerbi's worked so hard, clearly, on just trying to change the mentality of this team and try to get the confidence up. And I think at times yesterday, that was really working. But then to have that snatched away, is that work going to be undone? I guess we won't know until the next games. But that's the worry. So going into these last few games, if we can take the positives out of what happened yesterday, I think if we can replicate some of the most of that performance of yesterday going into the last 5 games, there's no reason why we can't win a few games and we can't gain confidence and build something and go, because I think Xavi said after the game we are going in the right direction, it looks like, and there was definitely improvements even from Sunderland to this game. You could see the improvement. So I think from that point of view, there's definitely hope. Like, we can go to Wolves and win. We can beat Leeds. Like, there's hope we can win those games.
I'm even looking at that Villa game with a bit of hope, because that's going to be sandwiched in between a European semi-final.
I think any of the games we can win. That's the reality. I've said it before. Like, it doesn't really, the fixtures isn't like, I look at those fixtures that we got. There's no game where I'm like, oh god, there's no chance we win that if we're playing well. It's all about how we're playing. But I just hope that last minute goal. Obviously, you saw at the end, all the heads dropped, all the Xavi was basically in tears as he's a very emotional guy. I think this team is just so emotional. I think it's a big problem at the moment. They get way too happy and they get way too down. Like when they scored and we're jumping into the crowd, shirts off, and then we conceded late on and they're like acting like we just got relegated, basically. And that's something maybe De Zerbi needs to sort out. We need someone who's a bit of a calmer head.
But De Zerbi is emotional himself.
He's emotional himself, absolutely right. So I don't know how we're going to fix that, but let's hope that we don't take that we take the good stuff of that performance and understand that we can take that into the last 5 games and give ourselves a shot. Because West Ham and Forest, as much as we are relying on other teams, they will obviously drop points. They're not going to go 5 for 5 or 6 for 6. Even if they both win this weekend, if we beat Wolves, right, we're back in it. Right, we're back. That's the reality. I said it before the game. Even if we lose to Brighton, the big one is Wolves. If we beat Wolves, then we're back. I think West Ham have Brentford and Forest have
No, West Ham have Everton, I think.
Is it West Ham Everton next week?
I think it's West Ham Everton and Forest Sunderland.
Forest Sunderland. Look, both teams could easily drop points in those games, or well, at least one of them will. I doubt both of them are going to win. So if we beat Wolves, we're back in it. We're back in contention, and it's tight again. So obviously, if they both win this weekend, obviously it's going to look horrible, and it's not a good situation. Let's hope they both slip up. But if they do both, or one of them slips up, then all of a sudden the point's not looking so bad, is it? If West Ham lose tomorrow or even draw, the point's not looking so bad today, as bad as it feels today.
Look, if I would have said to you, let's say, look, obviously it's not a foregone conclusion we're going to beat Wolves, far from it, because we haven't won in 2026. But if I told you 4 points out of Wolves and Brighton, you would have taken that.
Probably.
Before the Brighton game.
For sure I would have taken it, because we're not looking like, before that, we weren't looking like winning any game. So the fact that we should have won yesterday is already something positive, which is really, but it was really frustrating we didn't. But in terms of the relegation, it's hard to really analyse before we know what's happened with Forest and West Ham, and obviously we're watching it right now. Burnley are giving Forest a good game here, but we'll see how it ends. But if we just assume that Forest and West Ham both win, obviously, I think logically, you're looking at this situation, you're probably thinking, we're going to leave ourselves too much to do. I think that's how most fans are feeling, especially when you consider the fact that we do need 3 wins now of our last 5. The games are just ticking down. We're not getting the wins at the moment. You know, you're asking a team who hasn't won in 15 to win 3 in 5. I mean, when you look at it in that context, it's like, how realistic is that? And I think logically it's not, but hopefully, you know, football changes very quickly, and you never know in football. If you get 1 win, and we've got a decent fixture list, we've got changing circumstances, and I think if we play like we did yesterday, 3 wins out of 5 doesn't sound too crazy, but still, we still need to win those games. And it probably sounds crazy to say we're going to win 3 out of 5 when we're in the form that we are.
Well, Deserby said we're going to win 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
he said we can win 5 out of 5.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that, but who knows? Who knows? I think yesterday at least has given me a bit of belief that he can coach wins. I know we didn't win, but he can coach a win at least.
I'll tell you what, though, like, I know we're saying Javi was cramped yesterday, but if there is any sort of injury there, then I think I think that is done. Like, there's no chance we can win games without Javi, I don't think.
It's such a fine line now, isn't it? The margins, we've given ourselves so little margin for error now. 3 wins in 5 at the bare minimum. Even that doesn't guarantee you at the moment. But the bare minimum, you need 3 wins in 5.
Who are you looking at most likely to catch? Because, you know, a week ago we were saying Leeds. Obviously, they've turned massive corner and they're battling teams now. They're safe pretty much, in my opinion, Leeds. That moved on. My shift turned over to West Ham. But now I'm actually looking at Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest could be the team if anyone's going to go down apart from us. Though. I know that, but they are in European football.
Yeah.
They do have 3 games, 3 days in between Chelsea and a semi-final. Like, surely, even if the manager puts focus more on the Premier League, the players' focus are going to be more on that European semi-final.
I definitely think it's a distraction that they probably don't need if they're in the relegation fight right now, that's for sure.
And I'm looking at their fixtures as well. Fine, they got Burnley at home today, but Sunderland away, Chelsea away 3 days before a European semi-final second leg. Newcastle are playing horrifically at the moment, but Manchester United away and Bournemouth at home. I mean, none of those are easy. And you're looking at Nottingham Forest, everyone's saying they're safe. They've only won 1 game under their new manager, Vitor Pereira. They're not showing an ability to win games. And that 1 game was against us.
Yep. So, I still think they have a better team than West Ham. But West Ham are probably playing better than them right now. And they have that distraction from Europe, 100%. I get the feeling if Forest really need to win a game, they can just do it. That's the feeling I get. Whereas West Ham, I feel like I'm not good enough to be like that. Like, I feel like West Ham...
But they are winning the games, and Forest aren't.
I know, but I feel like... I don't know, have Forest ever dropped into the relegation zone? They haven't, have they?
Well, they were under Ange in the relegation zone.
That's a while ago now.
Yeah.
But for a while, they've been out of it. I don't know if they've actually felt like they're going, like they're a real risk. I just feel like if they have a game where it's like a must-win near the end of the season, I just feel like Forest are good enough to not just go and win it. Whereas West Ham, I know they've won games, but I feel like they're running off a bit of momentum at the moment. When the pressure's really on, when it really gets to them, and they feel the pressure of having to win a game to actually keep themselves up. Like, I think it's still in the balance for them.
I just don't think they've shown an ability to be able to get over the line and win games. They just haven't done it. They haven't won a home game since they've beaten us at home.
It's true. Absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on. And I do think that Europa League, I just think mental energy, physical energy, it just distracts you. And as much as you can rest players and stuff like that, you're probably going to be using a lot of the same players anyway, because subs and stuff, it's all they have. So, yeah, I think Forest 100% are still well in it. You can't rule them out. I still feel like West Ham are probably the team to catch for me. I think that I feel like Forest are more likely to be safe than West Ham. But I think our job is to just try our best to drag them both into it. That's our job.
Yeah.
And looking at the fixtures, we have the better fixtures. That's the truth. But the better fixtures doesn't make a difference when you're in the form that we're in.
We have to go if we don't beat Wolves next week, it's done. So we have to win that game. And on the back of that, we play Aston Villa on the eve of a semi-final in Europe as well. So I think that's really significant. Because I think Villa are looking like they're pretty much home and hosed in the top 5 race.
Need them to win today. Get them comfortable in it.
They're 1-1 right now, right?
Yeah.
I think if we go to Villa, they've got to rest players, right? They can't be playing a full strength team against us, and that gives us a big chance.
If we play like we did yesterday,
then we play at home to Leeds. Leeds should be not mathematically safe, but pretty much safe by then. So hopefully that momentum might shift into our favour. Chelsea away, they're losing every game right now. And then Everton at home, last game of the season. Like, if we show that same fight and that same grit that we showed yesterday, I'm certain we're going to come up with a couple of wins, if not more. I really am.
That's the hope it gives. Yeah, I think we will. I think we will based off yesterday, because I think we're going to continue to improve. And I think what was good about yesterday is the balance was so much better than what we've seen. There was a much better balance in the team, which is just.
And we were talking about the balance at the Sunderland game in the first hour. The balance and the structure of the team was a lot better. And then obviously what happened, or we conceded, and then we fell to bits.
You know what? How Chelsea are playing as well right now.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Is that even ruled out? You can't rule that out.
I'm not ruling it out. Obviously, I look at that Chelsea game being our hardest game from now to the end of the season, just because of what that tie is. And how we play at Stamford Bridge. But with the way Chelsea are playing right now, I wouldn't rule it out completely.
I think we've got to take. We can't rule out any game. We've got to hope every game is an opportunity to pick up points from us. We can't look at any game and think, yeah, we've got no chance. We have to, even if we were playing Arsenal away, we'd have to look at any game and think we've got a chance to take points in that game right now.
So as of now, with the results as it stands right now, are we beating the drop? Because you've been pretty certain over the last, however long, that we're going to get relegated.
I'm still pretty certain we are.
Yeah.
I think we've given ourselves too much to do. And it depends. It depends for me. If it all depends on this weekend. I think if Forest and West Ham both win, I think we've probably given ourselves too much to do. If one of those teams drop points this weekend, I actually think the chances of us staying up have gone up since this weekend. That's what I think. It kind of depends what happens here. It's hard to judge.
Yeah.
Because if it goes to 4 and 5, I think it
seems insurmountable, doesn't it?
And I think the pressure just ramps up on the team. I think if one of those teams drop points, all of a sudden you look at that point against Brighton not as like 2 points drop massively, but more as like a start of a road to recovery. But if they both win and we've dropped points, that is 2 points dropped.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And they're already struggling to deal with the pressure. I think if one of these teams does drop points, at least it relieves the pressure a little bit more. And I think it gives us a better opportunity. Look, if they both win, I don't think it's over, but I would say if I'm predicting it, I do think it's too much to do. That's a sad reality.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
But look, at the moment, Forest aren't exactly playing well, I can see.
Forest haven't played well for a while. That's apart from against us, when they beat us, they've been terrible in every game, in my opinion. And they haven't been able to get over the line and win.
They weren't even that good against us.
I think there's going to be opportunities for us.
There will be, but it's whether we can take advantage of that. I feel like the pressure of being 4 points behind could be too much for this team. That's why if we're always within one game of staying up, I feel like we can handle that pressure a lot more than having to catch up 2 games, and that's 4 points. 4 points is you have to hope your opponent drops 2 games and you have to win 2. That might be too much pressure for them to constantly keep winning. But I think it's within one game, I think we might be all right. They're obviously, both these teams are obviously going to drop points. They're both going to drop enough points. Even if they both win today, they're going to drop enough points between now and the end of the season for us to catch them. But whether we handle that pressure of having to basically win 4 out of 5 games or 3 out of 4 or 5 games, I don't know.
I don't think it's going to take 4 out of 5.
No.
I
don't think it will.
I think 3. I think 3, and it's a guarantee that we stay up.
I think it's 1-0 Liverpool. I thought it was 1-0 Everton.
No, the goal got chalked off.
And so now Liverpool winning.
Yeah, Salah just scored.
Oh, wow. Sorry, what did you say? I think we can draw points too, Sim. It's a good point.
I think 2 wins and 2 draws can keep us up. I really believe that.
So 1 defeat.
Yeah. Probably coming at Chelsea.
Big margin of error. Sorry, small margin of error. So 2 wins and 2 draws puts us on how many points?
39.
So let's assume I mean, it's hard to assume, but if we assume that Forest win this game, that puts them on 35.
Yeah.
And if we assume that, let's say we assume West Ham draw tomorrow,
No, it puts them on 36, I think.
36.
Yeah, they'll get 2 more points. Yeah, 36. They're on 34 right now.
And if West Ham win tomorrow, they're on 35.
Yeah.
And so you think West Ham only getting 4 points? And
I can't see where
Forest only getting 3.
Well, I'm not assuming West Ham are going to win tomorrow.
So let's say we draw tomorrow.
Yeah.
That puts them on 33.
My prediction for the West Ham game is a draw.
Okay, that puts them on 33.
Yeah. Which leaves us 2 points behind.
Yeah, so you think if you're saying 9 points, what are you saying? 2 wins and 2 draws, 8 points. That puts us on 39.
Yeah.
So you're saying if they're on 33, they're not getting more than 6. That's not a bad prediction, to be fair.
Oh, thank you.
That's not, as in that's pretty realistic. I would say, because I was saying if they're on, if you had.
But that's what I said. If West Ham win, it changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes everything, and it looks very bleak. But we just got to hope and pray that West Ham don't win tomorrow. And it's not, beyond all realms of possibility. Crystal Palace playing very well at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're unlikely to win, I would say. I think they're unlikely to lose as well. I think draw is a very likely result tomorrow. I think probably a Palace win's probably more likely than a West Ham win, to be honest.
So I don't think West Ham will beat Everton. I don't think they're going to beat Brentford. I don't think they're going to beat Arsenal. I don't think they'll win.
I think Brentford, they could win that game.
Brentford are just like the draw specialists at the moment.
I know,
it's got a draw written all over it, that game.
I know, but they're also one of those teams, if you turn up against them, you can win. Like, they're not like this. Like, we beat them early in the season. That was our last home win.
But they're not losing many games at all. They've shown an ability to just stay in games and not lose.
I know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win that game. I think the Leeds game, Brentford away, I wouldn't be surprised if those 2 games are wins.
I don't think they beat Brentford. I think they beat Leeds last game of the season. I think they might win their last 2 games, but I can't see a win in the next.
You think
4.
they're more likely to beat Newcastle than Brentford?
Yeah, I do.
I think they're more likely to beat Brentford.
And Newcastle just looks shot to pieces right now.
Yeah, I know. It's true. But it's one of those. I know they lost at St James's, but Bournemouth are not as good as West Ham. Like, where I can't see West Ham going to St James's and winning.
Newcastle have just lost their last 3 Premier League games.
I know, but I still can't see it. I reckon they're more likely to beat Brentford.
No, I disagree. But anyway, if they beat Brentford or beat Newcastle, it doesn't really matter. It's 3 points is 3 points. Look, it's going to be difficult. We're going to need to show that mentality that we showed yesterday, if not more. We need to get better we can't just say that's the performance. Like, it needs to get better than what it was yesterday.
Yeah.
We need to get over the line. And I'm confident that it can get better because that's what we've seen from Sunderland to Brighton. It's got better. And, Sunderland was gutting because, we were okay and then we conceded and we fell flat on our faces. Yesterday we showed the mentality and went ahead twice and didn't get over the line. Hopefully in this Wolves game we'll take it further and actually get those 3 points and put ourselves properly back in the conversation. That's what we need.
Yeah. Do you feel more or less confident after yesterday of staying up?
More. I feel more just because we played probably the hardest game on paper that we have. We gave them a really good game, should have ended up with 3 points, showed a really good fighting, workmanlike performance and really, should have got over the line. Yes, we didn't, and that shows the mentality traits that we've been seeing all season. Yeah, fair enough. But I've seen improvements, and I think if we keep seeing improvements over these next 5 games, I think we pick up enough points to stay in this division.
I agree. Well, I'm conflicted. It's kind of like I want to believe that, and I want to believe what you're saying. But at the end of the day, until we win a game, I can't sit here and say we're going to win.
You're asking the wrong person anyway, because I've been saying all through it that we're going to stay up.
Until we actually win a game, and I can see a win, like we've actually won, like I can't sit here and say we're going to win 2 and 3 games. So we actually have to win one first before I can say anything. So right now, I still think we're going down, unfortunately. As much as I was more hopeful before yesterday than I am after because of the performance. But at the end of the day, I haven't switched from we're now staying up yet. I haven't made that switch yet, just because we still didn't win. That's the most crucial thing at the end of the day. As much as it was great that we performed well, and I think there is now a bit more evidence than before to suggest, okay, maybe we can get something out of the teams that we're facing, and maybe De Zerbi is improving these things, yada, yada, yada. That's all true. But the barefaced fact is, we still didn't win. And I can't expect a team that is on such a long winless run to now win 2 or 3 games. And maybe if we beat Wolves, that changes. But right now, we still haven't beat Wolves. And we have to wait and see what happens here with Forest and West Ham. If they both win, then it's even more ominous. So right now, Forest are 0-0. They're not playing too well. Let's hope that stays the same. And then we'll have to see what happens tomorrow night.
All right, come on, you Spurs. We can beat this thing. We can beat this thing. Believe. You know, after my fan cam yesterday, I walked into the flat. And this is hilarious. Joshua, my son, who's 2 years old, runs up to the door and greets me, and he goes, "Believe, believe, believe."
What context do you think he's saying it in?
He was watching.
Oh, he's watching. Well, he's got his ICs. That's brilliant. That is so cute. Joshy. If Joshy believes, I believe.
All right. Let's get into player ratings. I hope you guys submitted your ratings. My things, let me just refresh it. There we go. All right. Player ratings, Tottenham 2, Brighton 2. Let's start off with Antonin Kinski, 7s all round. You guys giving it a 6.9. I'm not sure why it's not showing up there. But
yeah, it's a problem. It always shows up on our one, but anyway.
Yeah, look, 7s all round from us. I think pretty faultless display. I don't think he could have done anything with the goals that we conceded. Confident from corners and crosses. I think he brings an air of kind of stability to the back line as well, a bit of confidence about his play. His ball playing ability is top notch. And I love that bit of play where he comes rushing out and does the sweep-keeper job down to a T. So, yeah, another faultless display for me.
And I'm happy for him because after that game against Atletico, he's responded really well. Good performance against Sunderland. Another good performance here. I do like how confident he is. He has no problem coming out, claiming crosses, coming for things in corners. I do like that. I do like his ability with the ball at his feet. I think he's super confident. I feel so much more assured when he's got the ball at his feet compared to Vicario. So that's really good. In terms of shot stopping, I actually think, what was it? Just a Welbeck shot.
Yeah, he didn't have much.
Yeah, I think he just made one save, which I think was an easy save. I don't think he had too much to do other than that. Couldn't do anything with the goals, could he? So fair play to him.
Next up is Pedro Porro. I gave him a 7. You gave him an 8. 7.2 from you guys in the live chat. Obviously scored the goal, which was brilliant. Put himself in a great position just ahead of Verbruggen. I think that over him was a lovely finish. Could have made it 2-0 just after that as well. After the Javi obviously missed and hit the post, and he fired it over the bar. Well, it was a great save actually from the keeper, wasn't it? Because we got a corner off the back of it.
Yeah, he did. Brilliant. Tipped it over.
So potentially could have had his second goal. I think he just showed great energy throughout, Pedro Porro. He looked like a real leader, showing great mentality on the pitch. I felt like for the first goal, he kind of just went missing a bit at the back post. It's a great finish from Mitoma, but Pedro should have been there. But I just marked him down just for the goal that we conceded, just because I was just so frustrated at the time. But I did think he put in a very good display, Pedro Porro, yesterday, and he just showed like he wanted it.
Yeah, I think Porro, good performance from him. I think he was one of our better players on the day, on the ball. I think he's such a De Zerbi player. Like, he's the one who can get the team like kind of ticking.
He was a constant threat, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like a good threat, but I think in possession and build-up, little 1-2s, really good, clever passes, accurate passes was really good. Really brave header as well. Good to get in that position. I actually think defensively, by and large, was good. There was some times where I think Minter was causing him trouble. I thought he dealt with Mitoma really well. As you say, the goal was a bit frustrating. I watched it again. And he was tucked in because he was thinking about Welbeck. it was an interesting one. You had Danso, Van de Ven, and Porro up against Welbeck and Matoma, and another one at the back post. And Van de Ven kind of was marking no one. Danso then goes on to Welbeck, and then Porro comes over to someone else, which left Matoma completely free. I don't know if it's Porro's fault specifically, because if he left his man, he would have been free. So I think he had kind of had two men, which is, look, I remember having this problem under Ange. Like, we had like so many men free at the back post, and then you all kept blaming the fullback, but there was just so many players free. But at the end of the day, I put it more down to a worldie than bad defending. It was just like, you don't really expect him to finish it from that angle on the volley like that. So sometimes you just got to credit the opposition. But I think by and large, he had a pretty good game. I was pretty happy with Porro.
Next up is Kevin Danso. 5s all round for Danso. 5.1 from you in the live chat. I felt for Danso because I thought he had a really good game throughout from pure defending point of view. I thought it was so many times where he put himself in dangerous positions and came out on top more times than not. On the ball, you get what you get from Kevin Danso, and I think it was erratic. And even when it did go to a Spurs player, it felt like it was overhit at times, and sometimes the Spurs player had to stretch to get there or whatever. It wasn't great on the ball, but at the end of the day, he gets marked down massively for the mistake right at the end, and it was a gut-wrenching, painful mistake where it's so avoidable. Just get the ball clear, just hoof it, just put it anywhere, but do anything but what you did, basically. And it was his fault why we conceded that goal. And it's really hard to take. And I like Kevin Danso, but you can't do that, man. You cannot do that. It's ridiculous.
I think, for me, he was good yesterday at what he is good at, and he wasn't so good at what he's not good at. I think it was pretty much the quintessential Danso kind of performance. I thought putting his body on the line, 10 out of 10. Getting your header on crosses, 10 out of 10. But then when he's asked to like make a tackle in open play, he was struggling. When he was asked to pass the ball out of the back, he was struggling. When he was asked to show a bit of composure, he was struggling. I actually did think, I know it's harsh, I did think of the defence, he was probably the weak link, even before the mistake right at the end. I felt like they were targeting him a bit, and they were getting a bit of joy out of Danso more than anyone. But fair play to him. I think there was some moments where we were under pressure, and he was really digging in deep for the team and putting his body on the line, and that really did help. So fair play. But I think at the end of the day, it did cost us, and that goal right at the end is just such a bad mistake. It really is. At the time as well, you just got to clear your lines. You got to be safe there. You can't allow Van Hecke to get the ball there. And then not only did he allow Van Hecke to get the ball, but he turns on him. He allows Van Hecke to turn on you and get the cutback as well. And that leaves him out of position because he just lost the ball. It was such a catastrophic error. I do feel for him because he's one of the guys who just puts his all in. And but at the end of the day, I don't think he had a bad game. I think he was good. It was a good for him, but I did feel like he was the weak link in the defence.
Next up, Mickey Van de Ven. 7s all round for us for Mickey. 6.5 from you guys. And I said before the game, there was a different look and different... there was just something different about Mickey Van de Ven even before kickoff yesterday. He had the captain's armband on, and he definitely acted like it. You saw leadership ability on the pitch yesterday. I thought he defended really well, using the ball a lot better than what we've seen, for the last few months, really. And he had his best display in a Spurs shirt than we've seen for quite some time now for Mickey. So hopefully this is a more sign of things to come, because we're going to need that kind of leadership in the back line without Romero for the rest of the season. But a step in the right direction for Mickey.
Yeah, I thought he was a really good performance, really strong. What I liked about him is on the ground, taking no prisoners. Like, any time any player comes towards him, he was winning that ball. He was being really, really strong. And I thought he was so confident on the ball, a lot better with his passing as well. I thought defensively did very little wrong. So, and also that miracle clearance on the line that hit his own post. I don't know how we did it, but absolutely phenomenal from him.
Nearly an own goal, but we call it a miracle clearance.
Well, you know what? He risked scoring an own goal to stop Welbeck having a tap in. That's the truth. I thought really good from him. Really good.
Next up is Destiny Udogi. 7s all round for Dest. 6.2 from you guys. I thought Destiny had a different energy about him yesterday as well. You know, maybe it's just him getting more match fitness in him and getting better. with more games behind him, but he definitely was stretching the play a lot more. He was definitely a lot more aggressive. He was contributing to attacks. He was very strong in defence. I think the amount of tackles and duels he was winning was top notch. So yeah, again, one of Destiny's best displays in a while.
Yeah, I did think he started to struggle late in the game,
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
why he went off injured. Well, not injured, but he was strapped with an ice pack on his thigh. So let's hope it's nothing serious. But I thought in the first half, he was really providing that whip, which allowed kind of Xavi to cut inside, and he was getting to the byline. I thought he should have had a penalty in that first
Definitely.
half. I thought he should have penalty. I think he was bundled over, and I think the referee just got that wrong. That was really frustrating. But yeah, I thought he was a threat. He was defensively as well. I thought he was defending pretty. Actually, I thought when Minte moved over, he was struggling a bit more. But when it was just Gomez, he was doing fine. I think by and large he was quite good defensively. I don't have too many complaints for him. There was one moment there, wasn't it? I think the ball gets played over the top and he just allowed it to bounce, allowed Minte to steal the ball off him, and luckily nothing came of it. But I thought he was pretty good for most of the time he was on the pitch.
Next up is Conor Gallagher. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. You guys have given him a 6.3. I was really happy. Oh, Burnley have scored! Come on! Yes!
Come on, Burnley!
Come on!
Let's go! Sorry.
Fleming. Anyway, Conor Gallagher. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he gave us so much in that middle of the park. Combative display, pressing, off the ball. He was phenomenal. Went on a few nice dribbles as well. I thought they was just really hard to handle, and he kept just nicking the ball back for us and helping us kind of move the ball forward. And I think Bentancur was pretty much was a lot better on the ball, but I think Conor Gallagher and Bentancur just worked really well together. So best display in a Spurs shirt for me.
Yeah, I think he worked really hard. I think he's got a lot to improve on the ball, obviously. But I think in terms of, I mean, saying a 6 out of 10 is his best display in a Spurs shirt, probably true, but that just goes to show how poor he's been. But I think he did work so hard off the ball. I think his pressing was brilliant. He was involved in the first goal, helping Solanke win the ball up high. I think the amount of interceptions, tackles he was making was really impressive. Just on the ball in the final third, when there was a few moments where they could have been decisive and he kind of made the wrong decisions, but I thought he worked very hard, and he was actually quite good by and large.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur. 8 all round for Bentancur, 7.5 from you guys. Such a welcome return from Rodrigo Bentancur. Surprise inclusion in the starting lineup. We were saying before the game in the match preview or the predicted lineup that it's probably going to come too soon. It sounded like from what Roberto De Zerbi was saying, he was going to get 20 minutes, half an hour or something at the end. But he started the game and he just added something to the midfield which we haven't had in so long, and that's just a bit of composure, a bit of nice kind of neat play that we just haven't had for so long. The ability to keep the ball and pass the ball forward and drive the team forward, and he really was that driving force and that kind of hub of the team for us yesterday. So fantastic display, got the hour. I thought we missed him when he went off.
Definitely. I think that calmness, as you say, it just exudes through the team, that ability to pick the right option, not panic when he's on the ball. I think he was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, and there were shades of him. I mean, we've said it a number of times, but there were shades of him coming back to his best, I felt. And off the ball, I just felt like we were just like, we had so much more coverage. We were like so much less open when he was on the pitch, and him and Basuma together, I felt, just patrolled that area quite nicely. I did feel, obviously, once the energy waned, that was obviously a big problem. Nothing much we can do about that. But hopefully, as the weeks go on, he can play more and more. But that was a really good first performance for me, coming back from injury and definitely been missed. Maybe more of a miss than I anticipated.
Yeah, definitely. And it feels like he is a De Zerbi player,
definitely.
Bentancur. Next up is Yves Bissouma. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 6. He's given a 6.5 from you guys out there. Yeah, look, I thought he started the game really well, and he was providing that really nice protection for us, and he was winning the ball back quite consistently, and again working really nicely in tandem with Bentancur and Conor Gallagher. But I felt as the game wore on and when Brighton started to put some pressure on us, I thought he kind of wilted under that pressure a little bit. And when Brighton put pressure on him, he seemingly lost the ball in some really bad positions, which could have ended up pretty bad for us, which, you know, luckily it didn't. Got that booking, and I felt at half-time he probably should have come off, because there were a number of times after that booking he went on in a couple of challenges. Didn't give the foul away, but very easily could have, and maybe he was on a thin rope to a red card. Got taken off quite early in the second half, which I thought was the right decision. And yeah, I felt after the 20 minutes he was just weaning out of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was good to have him in the team. I think him and Bentancur together had a good kind of control over that centre mid. I have to say that for the goal that they scored, I think he just gives Pascal Gross way too much room. I think he's trying to track runners where he doesn't stop the immediate danger of Pascal Gross on the ball, and it just allows him all the time and space to cross the ball in. That was obviously a big problem. The booking, I mean, it's a bit harsh only because he got booked for it. Yeah, we didn't get a penalty up the other end for exactly the same motion, so that will be frustrating. I think there was some really good stuff at the start of the game. I did think he started to struggle, but I do want to persist with him because I think we looked a lot better with him and Bentancur together. So, some good stuff. Did start to struggle a bit and was rightfully taken off in the second half.
Next up is Randall Kolo Muani. 3s all round from us, 4.3 from you guys. He is just such a frustrating player to watch. Like, I don't understand, every manager's come in and given him such significant playing time, starts over someone like a Matisse Tell. And I don't know what warrants it. I genuinely don't know what he brings to the team. Like, what does he bring to the team? Every time we talk about him having a stinker, and then he starts the next game. It just makes no sense to me. He made no impact into our attacking play yesterday. Lost the ball more times than not, running down blind alleys. Like, what does he actually bring to the team?
Yeah, I don't know. He's not a right winger. I don't think he likes playing right wing. I don't know why we persist with it. I think Tell wasn't even that great when he came on, but he did a lot more than Muani did. I think this Muani experiment needs to end. For me, I think he was our worst player quite comfortably. There was a couple of moments as well with better anticipation. He could have had a couple of chances on goal, but he didn't anticipate them well. There was a moment where I think Xavi plays a through ball to him and he just gets the ball caught under his feet and the chance ends up going awry. Yeah, just nothing. Nothing doesn't really offer anything for me.
Next up is Dominic Solanke. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 7. Out there, you've given him a 5.8. Look, he was involved in the passages of play at the beginning for the goal and the chance that we did score and miss. But apart from that, there was a couple of moments of nice link-up play, but I felt, aerially he was getting dominated, didn't make too much of an impact in the game, not really much of a goal threat at all. I just feel Dominic Solanke, with the quality he has, needs to be doing a lot more.
It's interesting. I've seen a lot of reviews and stuff for the game, and it seems as though everyone who was at the game seems to think he played really badly, and everyone who wasn't at the game seems to think he had a pretty good game. So I wonder what that difference is and why there is a disparity there. I find that quite interesting. But I generally thought, especially in that first half, he was a complete nuisance. You say he got dominated early, but I felt whenever they went long to him, Van Hecker was really struggling to win those headers. I felt every time it was kind of...
Stats are.
No, the thing is, there was the long balls going forward, right? They were both not winning it. What was going on was Solanke was holding his strength and just preventing Van Hecker from winning the header, and it was just going over. And a couple of times, Xavi nearly got on the end of it. I don't remember that first half. Xavi nearly continued his run and nearly got through on goal, just because it wasn't Solanke winning the header. It was Solanke just preventing Van Hecker from winning it. And it happened a few times. Van Hecker was struggling with that. He then obviously set up the chance for Xavi. He pressed really well for the opening goal.
It says here that Solanke won 2 out of his 10 aerial duels, and it says Van Hecker won 5 out of his 6.
Yeah, I'm saying that there was a moment. It wasn't about winning the duels. It was about preventing Van Hecker winning them.
But it says Van Hecker won the majority.
But it wouldn't count as a duel.
Oh,
at
I
that point,
see.
You know what I mean? Because both of them didn't win. Yeah, I think it's obviously hard. Van Hecker's a big, tall defender, but I actually think, especially in that first half, there was a few times where Solanke was preventing Van Hecker from winning it.
I think he played a lot better when the ball was played into feet. When the ball was played into feet, he was decent.
And
But
also
when it was in the air, I thought it was poor.
There were some really good dribbling moments as well. I felt where him and Xavi were. I thought him and Xavi had a really good rapport yesterday. I thought they were linking up quite well yesterday. I was quite impressed with that. I actually think in the second half it wasn't as good. It seemed to be less effective. Obviously, I think Tottenham had less of the ball for much of that second half. But I thought the first half he was giving them a really tough ride and it was really good. And if it wasn't for that Xavi misplaced Xavi hitting the post, he would have had an assist as well. I was quite happy with him personally.
Next up is Xavi Simons. I've given him a 9. You've given him an 8. Out there, you've given him an 8.2. Look, he is the money man yesterday. You know what I mean? Unbelievable assist, dink into Pedro Porro. Proper top quality in that. And the goal, even more quality in that. Like proper Sonny-esque goal yesterday. Just a shift and a shoot. Top bins from Xavi Simons. Yeah, look, there were times where he was frustrating yesterday, but this is what you get, the nature of, a top quality number 10. They're always trying things and sometimes it's going to come off, sometimes it's not, but you end the game with 2 quality moments in the goal and an assist. Should have had the second goal just after the assist. And there was just so many times he was just getting hacked down, and no foul was being given. It was just so frustrating. I want to see the stats on actually how many times he was actually fouled yesterday, because it should have been a lot more. Where was it? So he was fouled. Where's the?
Should say.
Where's the fouled? I can't find it. Anyway, I just thought he was brilliant yesterday.
Block shots. Yeah, where it? Fouled 4 times.
4 times, and it should have been a lot more.
Yeah, obviously I was really impressed with Xavi. I thought he had a really strong game. It's a bit of a weird one. I thought he was good overall. He was probably the reason. He was the reason we should have won. He was also probably one of the reasons we didn't win. So it's a bit of a mixed game from that point of view. So I think when it comes from, if you're looking at in the context of our season, how little attacking quality we actually had during the season. It was so nice to see just 2 moments of magic from a player producing that. And it was kind of like, this was like, again, one of the times we've been saying for so long, Tottenham don't have any, world-class players, world-class talent, all this kind of stuff. We don't have any, we've always had a special player, right, in the team, whether it be Son or Kane or maybe a Ginola or whatever it is, and we don't have one right now. And then when you see Xavi do some of the stuff he did yesterday, he could be that player if we just give him the platform. So that was in that context, phenomenal. The goal he scored was outrageous. The assist as well, nearly equally as outrageous. What a little dink that is to Porro. 2 moments of absolute world-class quality. But then he has those moments where he has to bury that chance at 1-0. That could have been the game right there. I think there was a chance in the second half where he cuts back and shoots rather than puts it across the face of goal. That should have been probably a chance there to win the game. Obviously, him going down with cramp, I know it's not obviously his fault, but that obviously cost us as well, and that's really a frustrating thing. I'm not marking him down for it, but it's obviously probably one of the main reasons we didn't win the game was him going down with cramp and not being able to sub him off.
He gets cramp because he runs himself into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I actually also think right at the end, after it, we didn't mention it, but at 2-2, we had a chance to win the game. I actually think he gets in Bergval's way. If you actually watch it back, Bergval has the ball. I think Danso and Solanke are completely free to the left, and Xavi takes it off Bergval and tries to do it all himself, and ends up giving it to Gray in a lot less dangerous position. And obviously, we still create a chance for it, but it ends up, with a not less.
I haven't seen that moment back, but I remember Danso being completely free on that side. Was it not Gray that could have played him in?
Well, Gray could have also had a chance, but I think it was more Bergval wins the ball brilliantly. There's then 2 players to the left. You got Gray to the right. And Xavi kind of, if I remember rightly, Xavi kind of just, Bergval's about to make his decision. And then Xavi kind of just takes control, takes it off Bergval, and then tries to do it himself. Finds out, goes to the right where there's less space, runs out of room, then plays it to Gray. Gray then actually does well to get a opportunity to shoot. And yeah, and his shot isn't good enough to score, obviously. But it was definitely, I think, Xavi kind of getting it in everyone's way. I felt Bergvall, if he just had a moment to kind of assess his options and give it to the left, where there was like 2 players free, Solanke and Danso. I felt like that could have been the opportunity to win the game. But I think Xavi felt like it was his day, and he kind of just, I think he got in Bergvall's way personally. That was really frustrating.
All right. Now to the substitutes. Next up is João Palhinha. 5 from me, 6 from you, 5.6 from you guys. Yeah, I just felt like, because he came on for Bentancur, and I just felt like we just lost so much when Bentancur went off and João Palhinha came on. He had that one chance, didn't he? He had a shot, but apart from that, I don't think he had too much of an impact. And even like Steele in the middle of the park, I don't think he was adding too much.
Obviously, yeah, as you say, he had that shot which nearly scored. I think he did all right. I didn't have too many complaints. Doesn't have the composure Bentancur has, put it that way. But I actually thought his passing was a bit better than it usually is. He had played this one brilliant long ball to Tell, which I think if Tell reads it better, could have been an on goal, and we just kind of didn't take full advantage of it. But I think he was all right. I didn't have too many complaints, but I definitely think we lost a bit of control when he was. Well, I say that we got a second wind when he was on because of his energy, but on the ball we lost something when he was on the pitch.
Definitely. Next up is Matisse Tell, 6s all round from us, 5.7 from you. I thought he added just the extra energy that Moani just didn't have, and I thought he had more quality than Moani, and I just feel like, look, he wasn't great, but there was a few occasions where he was able to put the Brighton defence under pressure, get the ball in the box, and that's just all you need to do to be better than Kolo Muani. So I think if Tell doesn't start over Moani against Wolves on that right-hand side, then I don't know what he's doing.
I definitely felt he looked more uncomfortable on the right than he usually does on the left. So there's that to say. There was one moment he does play a beautiful cross and no one was in the box. Like that was really frustrating. And I felt there was a couple of moments he wriggled out of a couple of situations quite impressively, but I also felt there was a bit of hesitancy with him. Like he wasn't sure whether to go to the byline or cut inside. Like usually he knows when he's on the left, he just cuts inside. Like he knows what he's doing. I felt there was a bit of uncertainty and that little bit of hesitancy kind of that stopped him from being truly dangerous. But I felt he was much more of a threat than Moani, yes, for sure.
Next up, Archie Gray. You guys, well, everyone's given him a 6. 6 is completely all round from us, you, and everyone. Yeah, there was a kind of a couple of frustrating moments in there from Archie Gray, but I think more than most, he just kept things kind of moving along and added a bit into the midfield that maybe Basuma wasn't at that moment in time. I thought he just added a bit more extra energy, but probably should have ended up with a goal, to be honest.
Yeah, good chance right at the end, wasn't it? It wasn't an easy chance, but, you know, one where he probably a bit disappointed with the effort he had. I thought he was decent, not too many complaints. I think he just replaced Basuma adequately. Wasn't maybe as good as we've seen him previously, but I thought he came on and did a decent job.
Next up is Lucas Bergvall. 7s all round for Lucas Bergvall. You guys have given him a 7.1. I mean, instant impact, Lucas Bergvall yesterday. And, you know, he got a lot of criticism for his performance at Sunderland. And he comes on with a lot of energy, nicks the ball off Van Hecker and lays it off to Xavi. And you know, Xavi did what Xavi did. So straight away, a lot of energy. And I felt throughout the game when he was on, he was just, you know, running around and winning the ball back and trying to press the team forward. I really liked Bergvall's energy when he came on.
Yeah, and obviously he won the ball right at the end for that chance as well. So he did have a really positive impact on the team. I obviously was playing a bit further forward, wasn't he, again? But I liked his energy. It wasn't like he did loads of stuff, but the stuff he did immediately did make a difference, and it was good.
And last but not least, Jed Spence. 6 from you guys, 6 from me, and a 5 from Sim. Obviously, he came on for a doggy. A doggy was flagging at the time. The doggy had to come off, so I thought it was right to bring on Spence. And I did think he added a bit more energy on the left-hand side, but yeah, that's all I've got to say on it, really. He didn't really have too many talking moments.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit frustrating at times, actually, down the left-hand side. There was a couple of times where he kind of was caught out of position, I felt, and could have done a bit better. But look, it wasn't too much. It was on for that long. So, yeah, game of 5.
And last but not least, Roberto De Zerbi. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he managed the game well. I think all the changes were good changes, or changes that needed to happen, one or the other. I thought the starting lineup didn't have too many. The only problem I had with it at the start was maybe Conor Gallagher, but more Kolo Muani. Obviously proved wrong about Conor Gallagher. In hindsight, the only problem I have with it is Muani for Tell. But I thought, he's added that extra grit to the team. I feel he's added belief to the team. He's got them fighting. He's definitely made an impact in the 2-3 weeks he's been here. So I've only got good words to say about Roberto De Zerbi.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give him a 7. I think the kind of improvements we've seen in his first 2 weeks is already quite impressive and quite big. Obviously, we haven't won, and we need to obviously get those wins on the board. But at least him being here has given us a bit of belief that we can get those wins now, at least. And that's the most important thing. We should have won the game. Very frustrating. But I think the subs he made were good. I think it was better than last game, where I think we fell apart in the last half an hour, whereas in this game, I think his subs gave us a second wind, so it was a bit different. Yeah, I think he managed the game pretty well, and just there was just unfortunate things. I really think that Xavi moment, him getting cramp, really cost us, and that was obviously a big moment. And him having made 5 subs was really unfortunate. So, yeah, I don't blame him too much, but we didn't win, so give him a 7.
All right, well, that is player ratings. Let us know your ratings in the comments section below.
Being a goal at Villa.
What's the score?
3-1.
3-1, come on.
And the scorer, Morgan Rogers.
Is it Morgan Rogers, the bastard?
Go on, Morgan.
Well, I hope my Morgan doesn't score.
Exactly. Let's hope your star man has a stinker. Let's all hope.
Yeah. I was so close to that 5-pointer at Spurs yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah, shit.
So close.
Oh, I'm gutted you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Gutted you didn't get it.
All right. Let's get into reacts and see how the internet did react to the game yesterday. CM_THFC says, Tell and Udogie nowhere to be seen. All midfielders playing the defender. Solanke, heartbroken man. I mean, Udogie wasn't on the pitch.
I think he means Spence.
Yeah, I think he's got to mean Spence.
Well, yeah, this is what I mean. Look, I guess Xavi, I understand, but where is Spence? I think at this point, Spence had just gone on a long run, hadn't he? But there was a lot that happened in between. Surely he's got to get back in position. Obviously, it's not him who scores, but look how many men are free. You got 2 free men there at the back post. You've got Rutter free there.
I know.
You've got, I think it's at De Kuiper, 29. He's pretty free. So, I mean, it's like, to be fair, it's like Bergval's marking no one, but then again, he also has 3 men to mark at the same time. Who's at the front post? At Van der Ven. He's kind of just blocking the front post. It's a whole mess, isn't it?
Van der Ven, Gray, Bergval in and around the 6-yard box. Everyone else is nowhere.
There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually more Brighton players than Spurs players in the box.
It's terrible.
That's mad.
It's terrible.
How is that possible when you're defending a 1-goal lead with 4 minutes to go? That there's more attackers and defenders in the box.
I know.
That's like Ange Ball. Yeah. That's crazy. That should never, ever be the case, should it?
No.
When you're defending a 1-goal lead.
No, it's awful. Next up is Jack saying, everything in me doesn't want to say this, genuinely, but the ref is giving Brighton everything.
This is a West Ham fan. This is Jack, mate. And
is that Jack, mate?
That's Jack, mate. And he's a West Ham fan. Obviously, he's got no affinity to Tottenham. And even he could admit that Brighton are getting everything. So I think another game where you can say the ref. Maybe it wasn't as bad as Brighton, but I definitely think we have a right to feel aggrieved with a few things in that game.
100%.
The Brighton game again.
100%. The penalty, the Xavi situation.
I also think a few yellow cards Brighton could have had. I think Van Hecker should have been booked for he went right through the back of Solanke. I also think Weaver should have been booked a couple of times before he got booked. And then Basuma gets booked straight away for one thing. So I think we have a right to be aggrieved with for a few things.
Yeah. Melamela was back at the stadium yesterday. He says, it's so exciting to be back in the stadium where I played so many years. It's wonderful to feel your love once again. I missed you all so much. My love for the club goes stronger every day. Thank you all for making me happy. Thanks, Spurs official.
Did you hear his halftime?
It was before the game. No, I didn't.
Before the game.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Did he speak English? I wonder.
I was in the concourse and I saw him on the big screen, but I didn't hear what he was saying.
Do you reckon he spoke English?
I imagine so. I don't see a translator there.
I see a bit of I don't see whether is there a clip of him actually speaking. Anyone in the chat know?
He must have spoke English.
Yeah, it looks like he did. Yeah, it looks like he did speak English. Nice. Go on, Eric.
UTDCJ says he's done it. This is obviously a carbon copy of Javi Simmons crying.
Jaden Smith from Karate Kid.
Yeah.
It really does look like it. God. Oh. Poor Javi. He's so emotional, man.
Billy T, this was absolute carnage. This was obviously Javi's goal yesterday.
Did you fall down a few rows? Anything?
I didn't fall down rows, but it was absolute carnage. The scenes, that's got to be the biggest scenes in the stadium this season.
I think Billy T said he broke his ankle.
Oh, did he? I saw Billy T at half time.
Yeah?
And he said to me, I came down at 1-0. I was like,
oh, no. Absolutely can't. Look at that. Look, that was proper limbs yesterday, wasn't that? Look at that. Survival limbs.
Yeah, it really was. The best limbs in a long time.
Let's just hope there's a recreation of that later.
Drees ABZ says, biggest signs of a team going down is when they're having one of their best performances of the season and still can't get a win. I think that's this Spurs game. See, there's two ways of looking at it. There's that, to say, well, even when you're playing well, you can't get over the line and win a game. But also, you could look at it as like you're building momentum, and then if the teams in and around you can't win, then maybe the next game you're going to win, and this game will be forgotten about.
Definitely feel better with the fact that Forest are losing right now. Let's hope that stays the same. But
Long
yeah,
way
you're right.
to go.
You're right. I think there is definitely two ways of looking at it. But at the end of the day, you can build all the momentum you want, but you need a win. And obviously, hopefully, the momentum that we have leads to a win. But the longer that win doesn't come, the more the less belief you're getting, aren't you, that you're going to get that win.
Yeah.
And time is running out. 5 games to go. We're asking for a lot of momentum in these last 5 games, aren't we?
Yep.
I think still, even at this point, I think logic tells you we've left it too late, but hopefully we can go against the logic.
Absolutely. Troll Football says, the last time Tottenham won a game in the Premier League, Maresca was the manager of Chelsea, Amorim was the manager of Man United, Xabi Alonso was the manager at Real Madrid, De Zerbi was the manager of Marseille, Maduro was the president of Venezuela, and Iran and USA were having peace agreement talks.
Aren't they still having peace agreement talks? But anyway.
The first round of peace agreement talks.
Yeah. God, a lot has changed since we won the game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Premier League panel says Spurs produced their best pressing performance of the season versus Brighton and found repeated good connections down the left wing with Udogie, Simmons and Solanke coming over to that side to combine. 2 big positives for De Zerbi to build on, even though Danso threw away the win stupidly.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. I didn't think it was like... I think on the ball, we were like a lot calmer. We weren't rushing things. I think that was good. But it wasn't like we were like opening them up. It wasn't like we were... It was like we were playing tiki-taka and like, looking for openings. It was more like when we were pressing and had high energy, we caused mistakes and openings that way. And then once that pressing dissipated, Brighton were the ones taking control of the game. So it just relied a lot on our energy, didn't it?
Yeah.
To keep that level of performance up. But I think from a pressing point of view, definitely our best performance in a while. Probably since City away.
Yeah, agreed. LFCJ says win at Wolves next week for Spurs should be enough for them, I reckon. I mean, the Wolves, a win in itself won't be enough, but
will it enough to turn us or turn it
yeah,
around?
I think that's what he's saying. It'll be enough for that momentum to carry us through, because if we do win at Wolves, then obviously that will end up being 2 positive performances in a row, 2 games without a defeat, 4 points on the board, and I agree. I think it will be enough.
Yeah, I think, especially looking now. Look, let's see how these games continue to go. And Burnley, I have to say, I'm watching this game, and Forest don't look great. I don't want to speak too soon, but if these results can hold and we win against Wolves, all of a sudden the picture looks completely different, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Stokey G says, this is the relegation run-in, so who is going down then? Again, I said it when we were talking about before. I think Forest are the team to look at, and particularly they're losing 1-0 here, and I said it before they went 1-0 down. They're just not showing an ability to pick up points.
If they lose this game, I think all of a sudden attention turns to them, doesn't it? Definitely. If you're losing to Burnley at home,
plus European football in the middle there.
Yeah, and this is after a European game, so clearly you could say Europe's been affecting them. All of a sudden, it's getting scary. It's getting very scary.
For them, yeah.
Yeah. And it goes from us relying on them, and all of a sudden they might have to be relying on us to drop points.
Yeah. But look, it all comes down to that. If Spurs do the business, then I think we'll pick up more points than Nottingham Forest. ESPN UK says, seen this before. Twice this season, Spurs have celebrated with their shirts off too early. It's not just been this season as well. It's been happening over a number of seasons.
Just keep your shirt on, mate. Keep your shirt on. Bloody hell. It's like, you just know we're going to concede now. It's like a thing. It's like a curse. It's a shirt-off curse.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Return of the Shelf says, who are these people? Unreal atmosphere, passion pouring out of the stands, the team fighting. If you can't celebrate that goal, we might as well all pack it in. I mean, no one's saying we can't celebrate a goal. They're just saying it was an over-celebration.
Yeah, that's what he replied.
And I don't think they were saying it from the fans. I think it was mainly about the team.
He says, I love Xavi. Or he's replying to a tweet. It says, I love Xavi. I really do. But doing all that with 15 minutes left to play in a relegation battle. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have too much of a problem with it, to be honest.
No, I don't. I think, considering the situation we're in, I think it's understandable. Like, we've had so little joy. I think it was just an absolute outpour of relief at that point. But obviously, it did kind of feel like we felt like we won the game when it's still quite a long way to go.
Yeah. This one is showing Couto Romero watching the game yesterday, having his mate tea. Lovely. He should have had Angry Ginger in there to do a watch along. Why not?
Why not? Who did he play? Who played Brighton, and it will get fusion.
Why not get Angry Ginger there, Cootie? Oh, God. ONTHFC says, I love Xavi Simons. Absolutely has to be starting each of these last 5 games. He just gets it. Not just he gets it, he can actually play football. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did he say? There's a message. We will not stop fighting. Crowd was amazing today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's hope it's not the last time we see that celebration this season.
Yeah. No context Tottenham. I think that's been deleted. Billy T again saying, the genre of goal that caused absolutely scenes but ultimately ended up meaning nothing hurts so bad. It's so true.
God, there's so many of them for us.
And also, what's not on there is Lamella Rabona.
God. What is it with us and scoring just iconic goals that don't mean anything?
Yeah, that was Richarlison, halfway line goal.
No, that was when we equalised. Oh, you talking about, that was also Richarlison halfway line goal, yeah. You can even argue Mora against Ajax. Didn't even win the goal and win. Even argue that.
No, you cannot argue that. What are you talking about?
We didn't go on to win the Champions League.
Oh, the Champions League we didn't win. But we went through to the final.
Yeah, we went through to the final. It meant something on that day.
Johnny Blaine says he just had to clear it and we'd probably have stayed up. I mean, we can still stay up. But yeah, if we would have cleared it, we would have won that game.
Yeah, 100%. It's so frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah. No context Tottenham. Now, what's this about?
That's the straight up Hormuz. This is De Zerbi and Tottenham. The other side is the Premier League, and Frank and Vinay are blocking it. Oh, God, absolutely brilliant. Open up the strait. God's sake, stop blocking the strait.
Let the ships through, man. God's sake.
Oh, we need to start peace talks with Vinay. Come on.
I will not. Luca says, the worst part of all this, Dancer was completely open on the left to win it. Can you effing imagine?
Yeah, so this is the point. You can look, Bergval's got the ball here, and you can see there's Solanke there, There's Dance, obviously, who's going to make the run forward completely free. And then Xavi just gets in his way and he starts moving the ball to the right. Whereas, look at that big space on the left.
I know.
And he goes to the right. It's ridiculous. I think and Bergval's facing the right. So I think if Xavi doesn't get involved, I reckon Bergval just takes a breath, lays it into Danso, who's making the run in, and we probably get a really good chance there.
Yes, I was obviously sitting in the stand right behind there, and I saw Danso just making a streaming run. I was screaming, Danso, Danso! And
because if you see here, Van Hecker, he's already planted. He's waiting for the shot, so he ain't moving to the right there. So Danso's going to have a completely free run.
Fair, there's no guarantees Danso scores that.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But at least we get a really good open chance there.
Yeah.
And also, it would have been Danso redemption. The story writes itself there.
I know.
Oh, so frustrating.
And finally, this is the penalty shout that we had. This would have been a foul outside the box and not a pen. Yeah, exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
It's a penalty, man. Look, he's got grabbing his shorts. He bundles him over.
Fuck.
It's 1-1. Oh, bloody Gibbs White. Had to be him, didn't it? Bastard.
Anyway, penalty. Yeah, it's definite penalty.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's a penalty.
All right, well, that is the way the internet did react to the game yesterday. A super chat here from Benjo saying, if it turns out that there's a big scandal regarding the retractable pitch, do you think it will change how you viewed the players this season? Less about their quality and more about our best are injured.
I mean, there's no scandal, is there really? I mean, what are we actually talking about? There's no actual proof, is there? It's just
There's
theory.
nothing. Yeah.
I mean, if there does come out this massive scandal that this pitch is actually causing injuries and that's what's really been holding us back, I guess then there's, I don't know, there's maybe something you can say about it, but there's no evidence. We're just making that up at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, for the last half an hour of the game, we are going to be doing a watch-along for the Forest Burnley game.
Perfect timing, because Forest has just scored. Great. Oh, and Ben's gone. Just me, then. Don't think Ben's too interested. Let's hope that Burnley can hold on, but Forest have just got the goal. Morgan Gibbs-White scoring for Forest. Come on, Burnley. Hold strong. Forest have momentum here. It's 1-1 at the moment. It obviously has massive ramifications for our... This has massive ramifications for our survival hopes. All right, let's see if Burnley can do something for us. They've already taken the lead once. Hartman, here we go. Walker, go on, out wide. That's it. Come on. Jadon Anthony on the right-hand side. Can he get the ball in? He can. Foss is in there. Oh, it's a save by Matt Sells. Unlucky. Just had a chance.
Did we?
Did we? we just had a chance.
Come on, Burnley! Come on, Burnley!
Up the Burnley. Oh, corner. Unlucky.
Come on. Corner ball to Burnley. Scores as it stands at Everton 1, Liverpool 1.
Oh, 1-1.
Yeah, Beto scored.
That's so.
And Villa 3, Sunderland 1. Here we go. Ward-Prowse in.
Referee!
The back stick.
Referee!
It's got to be a pen.
He's giving it the other way, bastard.
Confirmed lineups for the Arsenal Man City game. We've got Raya, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard, Eze, Madueke, Havertz. They've dropped Gyökeres.
That doesn't surprise me. Odegaard's fit. I thought he was injured.
And for Man City, it's Donnarumma, Nunes, Kuzanov, Gehi, O'Reilly,
Only good.
Rodri, Bernardo, Cherky, Doku, Semenyo, Haaland.
Yeah. See, so who's on? So now they've dropped Ben White, Mosquera right back. That's going to be interesting. Up against Doku. Throw into Forest.
Come on, Burnley, just find something. Oh, no. Oh, throw into Burnley. That's Burnley's ball, no? Yeah. Situation we're in, relying on bloody Burnley, as someone says in the comments here.
Away to Forest. That's it. Felipe Luis. Come on, couldn't get to Fleming.
Just stop the count now.
Burnley being very good in this game. They have actually been decent, to be fair.
But they have been in a lot of games.
Oh, Hutchinson. That's it. Come on, Fleming. That's it. Oh, Prowse. Nice play.
That's it. Come on. Kyle Walker doesn't want Spurs to go down, man.
Surely. He's fighting for us.
Where's Marcus Edwards? Is he playing?
He just got taken off.
Ah.
Handball. That's it. Ah.
It's true. Someone says a draw means nothing for Forest in this game. This is the game that they looked at as definitely guaranteed 3 points.
And they have to win, don't they? But Murillo injury, by the way, that's pretty big. He went off injured.
I think he was injured last game.
Oh, ball in behind, cut back corner.
Shit.
It's he pulled his hamstring. It looked like.
That's what, minimum 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a struggle for him to come back, I think.
All right. Nico Williams with the corner. He's been fantastic recent weeks. Got Chris Wood in there, Milenkovic in there. Stay strong, Burnley. Stay strong.
Ball in the box. Oh, good claim from Dubravka. Come on, Burnley. Come on. He launched it forward. Header from Milenkovic. Headed on by Jesus. Held up by Wood. Oh, here is Jesus. And now Hutchinson on the right-hand side. Goes on the outside. Cuts it back. Volley by Gibbs. Wide! 2-1 Forest.
Fuck.
All right, turn the stream off, mate. Stream off. Oh, man! Bloody Gibbs White. That was so easy. That's actually a good volley, though, but fuck. That's a good volley. Dubravka, could he have saved that? Oh, it's right through him.
Dubravka, what are you doing, man? That is rubbish. Fucking Gibbs White. Does that all that fucking madness in the summer and he's going to send us down. Yates is coming on.
Oh, come on, Burnley. Show some fight. Oh, God, they're looking confident now, Forest. Come on, Burnley. Hartman for Milenkovic. Come on, give it Fleming. Fleming. Oh, that pass was heading through. Ref. Oh, he's weak. Oh no, it's gonna be 3-1. Ah, touch there wasn't there for Wood.
This has all just gone south in the last 5 minutes, man.
As soon as we turned it on.
60, 62, 69.
Nico Williams to take the corner. Well out. Oh, Gibbs White. Hutchinson. Oh. Oh, they're playing really well now. Good block from Fleming. Hutchinson. Looking back for Gibbs White. Oh, get there. Well done, Foster. Well done.
Come on, Burnley, find something. Done nothing in this second half.
They're singing, it's Morgan Gibbs White. It's Morgan Gibbs White. Hello.
Don't remind me of that song.
Kyle Walker over the top. It's a good ball. Come on, keep that in, keep that in. Get it across. Oh, Foster! No, just didn't get the touch. Come on, come on. It's not over yet.
Come on, Burnley! Come on, Burnley!
Come on, Anthony. Cross it in. Nah, Milenkovic away. Win that. Oh, it's going to be a foul, is it? No.
Clattered him, man.
Come on, Ward-Prowse. Come on.
We need a nice Ward-Prowse free kick on the edge or something.
That's not good, is it? Come on, it's into the space. Come on. That's it. Oh.
Oh.
Esteve. Come on. Jakob Brun Larsen ready to come on. Oh. Come on. Come on, Burnley. Come on. Walker. Come on, Walker.
Out wide, that's it.
That's it. Come on, get players in the box. Come on. Anthony. Oh.
They're just so shit, Burnley.
Foul. No. Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. Bloody sitting here hoping Burnley score a goal.
It's mad, isn't it?
Down.
Members chat for South East Coys. Do you expect the board to put out a statement if we go down? What could they possibly say? Would you take Delhi back if we go down? Come on, you Spurs, always, lads.
Yeah, why not?
I'll take him back if we go down, but what statement could the board put out? We've taken you down, but we're going to still charge you a bomb.
Obviously, they're going to put some sort of statement out, aren't they? But who cares?
A statement that we can all pick apart. Ryan Yates coming on for Chris Wood.
Man City are handing out Arsenal-themed bottles.
This is not going to end well, is it?
Was that AI? Must be AI, surely.
It's probably fans.
Oh, it's not AI.
as it stands, Forest are 5 points ahead of us. Oh my fucking days. Gibbs White hat trick. Oh my God. End the stream. End the stream.
We're done.
End the stream. Oh, fucking hell.
Gibbs White bloody hat trick. What a
In like
header.
10 minutes.
What a header that was. Can't believe it.
Literally in 10 minutes. All right.
Ridiculous.
Well, that is it from us today, people. We'll be back tomorrow for a West Ham hate along tomorrow night.
Oh, what a header.
Very much looking forward to that. And we'll be back for more content tomorrow during the day as well. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.